What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. I have a good friend alongside me, Mr. Alyx and Twistle, and as you've probably already seen from the graphic, this is the Branthwaite debate. So whether you're watching live right now or if you're watching later on, make sure you get your opinions in the comment section, and any points you want to make out and try be nice as well, then we will definitely get into. Maybe it's going to turn in from us kind of debating Branthwaite to you in the comment section debating. Let's see which way it goes. Before we do that though, how are we? It is Friday. It's the weekend. Are we feeling good, Alyx?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Can't complain.
Can't complain. Can't complain. Not complaining just yet. But
Not
yeah,
yet.
we're
No,
only 3 minutes in, so we'll see what happens.
exactly.
Right. So on the case of Jarrad Branthwaite, here's what we know so far. So this is just on a neutral basis. United have had multiple bids rejected for Jarrad Branthwaite. We were thinking about a third bid potentially going in, which could, I think, was like similar to what we paid for Mason Mount. So I think it was like 55 plus 5. If I'm going wrong anywhere here, Alyx, please do. If you want to correct me, go
No, yeah.
for it. This is according to reports.
Yeah.
Everton are standing firm. They say no, we want 70 or he isn't going anywhere. Also, according to the guy who broke the story, Simon Jones, I believe it was, from the Mail, who initially broke it, mentioned something about his wage. Like he was rejecting a wage unless he gives similar figures to what United were offering. But he still has like 3 years left on his contract anyway, so it doesn't really play much of a part in that. But I'm just giving you a full kind of basis. Alyx, you've been absolutely adamant that this is a fair price. Why do you personally believe £70 million is a fair price for Jarrad Branthwaite?
It's right. So to me, right, and this is what Everton's stance has been. Oh,
There we
This is
go.
what.
That was better,
This,
that. It was like you was lighting up as you was making your
I
point.
know. Right. So yeah, so the club stance has been, hasn't it, that Harry Maguire, Vardy, plays like that have gone for that kind of money. So they were seen as the sort of, for their age and where they are in the careers and all that, and the
Yes.
potential that they had, that they were fair prices. Now, obviously, you look at the Maguire one and go, with hindsight, you probably did overpay. But Vardy's turned into a very good signing, and I would put in that bracket. So I know what you're then about to say next, which is, plays like Nicky van der Ven and stuff like that. But why should we lose out? Because like other clubs, so like Wolfsburg, who sold Van der Ven, they weren't as savvy with it. Like, why should we lose out? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay. I'll take your point.
that's
And
my thought.
actually, well, I wasn't going to throw the Van der Ven thing in there, but you've done it for me, so you can.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, consumers who are watching, you can have that. I wanted to ask after. So he's been on loans. He's done his. Anyone who's followed Branthwaite, he's PSV, Blackburn. I think he started early at Carlisle as well, right?
Yeah.
He's had a couple of loans. One good, very good season in the Premier League has to be. He has been fantastic, but one good season, does that warrant the price as well?
The way that I look at it is that these days, right? So you look at I've picked certainly on like on your channel, like
Yeah.
on your Instagram, posting that. And obviously, Everton fans in general have been getting a lot of stick for the fact that we're bringing up Lenny Yoro. But for me, right, Lenny Yoro, and as much as like the initial fee is 40 odd mil, but it seems like the deal is going to go up to 62 million for an 18-year-old who's had one season really, hasn't he, at Lille? So it's kind of like these days the prices that you pay, you're paying a premium for potential. So it's looking at Branthwaite and going, he's 21, 22, young lad who has had one really good season, yeah, and I will agree with that. It is only one season. But then, like we say, before that, he had a really good year at PSV. Before that, when he's still a teenager, he done really well at Blackburn. And then, of course, we signed him from Carlisle when he was really young. So it's been that sort of like steady progression. And I think you see that more in the English game where you do sort of follow like a blueprint with how to handle a young player. Like majority of these young players, I can only really think of like Phil Foden, who didn't do it, where you get loaned out and you try and especially in a football league because it's about like building them up, like taking them from the boys' game, which is obviously under 23s and what have you, to then proper like men's football. Do you know what I mean? Playing against people who've got mortgages on the line and stuff like that. So you're paying for potential. I think he's shown in the 3 4 years that he's been about that he's just steadily got better and better and better. And I just think now 75 million. That's the price that you
75.
want.
It's going up
Really?
5, is it?
Is it? Oh, yeah, right. What is it? Seven. I've seen 75 a lot. To be
He's
fair.
adding millions as we fucking talk at the moment. It's getting closer to 100, if anything.
That's what it should be, by the way. But we'll leave that.
Can I just pick you up on that Euro point, right? Because this Euro thing seems to be getting thrown about quite a lot. Not by you personally, but Everton fans who are probably responding to the Branthwaite kind of thing. And Lenny Euro, he might be young, 18, but he's still got more Champions League experience than Branthwaite. He's played, 60 senior games for Lille, I think, in the league. He's broke Hazard's record. Every metric that you look at with Euro is right through the roof. So paying 50 over the odds, probably because Real Madrid were interested, it don't warrant it, but it gives reasoning as to why we're doing that. Whereas if City were going in for Branthwaite now, or another club, I also think that would probably push his price a little bit. Maybe they would go to a 60 or something.
No, that's fair. But what my counterpoint to that would be, I think if Lenny Yoro is English and comes up at an English club, then he doesn't play the games that he plays. Like I said, like about with that's the sort of blueprint that these young English lads follow. You might make Kobe Mainoo is obviously another big example where it's like he's come out of nowhere. So now that he's not gonna earn his stripes, so to speak, by going out on loan because he's come straight into the team. But that isn't like the normal thing. Like that's very much like an anomaly. Like, and yeah, he's a very good player, but that was also brought in by the fact that you had a bit of an injury crisis at the time. You had no one else pretty much to play. Similar like with what happened with Rashford. Rashford, like when he made his debut, that was literally down like he should have been a sub in the Europa League game, and then suddenly you had no strikers, and obviously the rest is history. But if that didn't happen with Rashford that night, then he might have ended up on like 2 3 loans. Like say like Harry Kane did. Like Harry Kane had about 5 loans, didn't he, in League Two to the Championship. So that's the way I look at it anyway. I think if Branthwaite is French and plays for Lille, then I think an 18 or whatever, I think he plays them games too. That's my personal opinion.
If wishes were fishes, Alex, the whole world would be an ocean, mate. No, but I take your point. I take your point. But then that should flip the opposite way, because if Branthwaite is English and Premier League tax, that would mean he should be significantly more. But I don't necessarily believe that's right, just because he is English and just because he has played one season in the Premier League. So whether you can say Premier League proven or not, there's still. I admire him as a player and I really like him as a centre back, and I've always said I'd prefer him over Delay. But also there are still a couple of question marks around him. Like in Everton's system, you sit quite deep, right? I don't think he's been allowed to peacock as much in terms of his ability on the ball. I don't know if you would necessarily agree with that. Maybe he has more in his locker. And I'm not saying he's bad on the ball, because I can see your brain lighting up. I know he's decent. But what I'm saying is you're going off a very small sample size. You know what I mean? One season with Everton and it's like bang, 70 million. So the question I want to ask you, and expand on the point, that's absolutely fine. What makes him so talented in your opinion? Because you've watched him week in, week out, so you've seen him more than I have. What justifies the price?
Well, so right, so for me, you want like obviously you're a United fan, so you don't watch Everton week in, week out. And probably the fact that our manager is Sean Dyche. So Sean Dyche comes with this sort of reputation that is basically like a Sam Allardyce type, where it's just long ball, long ball. But yeah, like we might have had one of the highest percentages last season. I don't know the actual stat, but we probably are up there in terms of long balls, long passes, attempted, right? But like this, this is where it even gets funny, because if I was to say to you, James Tarkowski, like if I wanted you to describe James Tarkowski, I imagine, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would imagine that you would see him as like, like the old school English centre half, a no nonsense centre half.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you see him every week, he's not. He's really not. To me,
Elaborate on that.
he's a ball playing defender, and Branthwaite is exactly the same. It's just we play to their strengths, and obviously we've got to play to a certain tactic and a philosophy or whatever. We were this past season, obviously with the points reductions and stuff. And then bring in Calvert-Lewin, because we had like a striker crisis basically. So Calvert-Lewin's had to come back in like we have done over the past few years, where he's back to rushing back in. We managed him a little better this season, but the fact is we were down at the bottom because of obviously the point reductions. So we then had to find the like the most effective way, like the quickest effective way. So that was getting the ball in the box as we could, like as soon as we could, basically. So, but if you watch Branthwaite and Tarkowski, like you you know that the footballers, like the footballers, like so for me, so Branthwaite, yeah. So you asked me like what his qualities are and stuff like that. He's a beast. Like he's tall. He's a big lad, right? But he's got a great pass on him. He can carry the ball out. I've said it before, and I've said it to you. I've said it on here. Like and you know how much I love John Stones, man, especially when he was
Ballon d'Or.
exactly, exactly. Silly thing to say, but I stand by it.
He still thinks he's gonna win it at some point.
No. The point that I made at the time, I stand by. But I think every time you brought that up, you neglect to mention the fact that I said, "Come on, what I'm saying here is obviously not going to happen."
Yeah, but no one cares about that part of it. Everyone just wants
Yeah,
the
you just
headline. I'm
want
being the
yeah,
Sun
exactly.
newspaper here.
Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
so for me, Branthwaite is better like now than what Stones was at the same age when we had him.
Okay, so amongst defenders right now in the Premier League, of a similar age, let's say, where would you personally rank him, Branthwaite?
I think the only one who you could probably say is better. I've got my biased hat on,
But
so I'll
no,
be
no,
like,
try not have your bias hat on. Like try, because if you think about it, there were ones I could throw at you instantly where I think it's debatable. Even the one that I mentioned to you might disagree with it, and other people might. Even like a Van de Ven, I don't think he's far away from that level. I think
no,
Van de Ven,
Van der Ven's class. Van der Ven's class.
class.
My point is, if Van der Ven was to be sold today, he would be going for that money. He will be going for 80 mil plus, surely. The fact that he was signed for 35 million isn't an indicator on how good of a player he is. That's just the fact that he's coming from Wolfsburg, he's coming from the Bundesliga, and rightly or wrongly, like I obviously don't agree with this, but the fact is there is a Premier League tax and there is a young English like that just is true. So if Van der Ven, so this is what I'm saying, like Van der Ven now has he had this one season? I've had 2 seasons now.
One.
This is his first season, wasn't it? Yeah. At Spurs, and he's had this amazing season personally. Then if someone comes in for him now, he goes for that 80 million.
I agree, but I think because they've paid that money, they would then the stance that Tottenham would have is we obviously want to double our money because he's had such a successful season. Had he had been on loan, like a similar spell to Branthwaite, and he'd come up through Tottenham, I don't think the price tag would be as high because he's came through. You know what I mean? Is it academy like prospect, or did you buy him when he was young, Branthwaite?
No, yeah, we signed him from Carlisle, but I think he was he might have been 16 or like 17.
So does he count as like pure? Is it homegrown? Is it 3 or 4 years the rule or something? I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I think it's 3 years from like 18 to 21 or something.
Yeah. So,
So
let's go back to what I mentioned before. Where would you rank him? Just give us, is Saliba above him? Is Van Dijk above him
it-
for you? Where
that's
where
what I
we?
was going to say. So Saliba, he was the guy I was going to say he's probably the only one because you said like of the same age as well, same sort of profile and all that. But if we're going out there, yeah, then
I don't know if you
yeah,
believe it
Van
because
Dijk.
you're hesitating when you say it.
No, because no, I genuinely believe, right? Because you're saying 22-year-olds. That was the question where it's like people of the same age
Yeah, around that age, like
and
a
same.
young up and coming centre back.
Yeah. So for me, I think only Saliba is better than him.
Okay. Okay.
That and I genuinely do believe that.
Right.
I
Okay.
think
Okay.
we could go through any. Van der Ven is good and I like him a lot, but maybe I am an idiot. Maybe I've got my Everton rose tinted glasses on, but I think Branthwaite's better than him.
Okay. You know what? I always thought rose tinted glasses. I just thought that was a United thing because rose red. Genuinely, being a complete honest open door here. Always thought, yeah. Didn't think it applied to everyone else, but there you go. You learn something new every day is a school day. My mum once said. David Pearson saying for me, I'd say based on what we've seen of him. Are you ready for this? 30 to 35 should be maximum for Branthwaite. There's got to be better value out there. That's from David Pearson. What do you say to that, Alex?
What's it? 35 million.
Yeah.
I don't want to get personal. I don't want to get nasty.
You don't need
But
to.
but
Keep
that is
it.
fucking ridiculous.
Okay, maybe you do.
No, but that is silly. That is silly. That is, and that to me just says that he doesn't watch him. He obviously doesn't watch Everton. And yeah, fair enough. He's not playing for England, so
Be funny if he typed in now I'm an Everton fan.
I'm gonna. No,
But
not a chance. Not a chance. 35 million is ridiculous, and
let's go.
that's why the first bid that you put in was around 35 million. And I said, like, it's like you're taking the piss. It's like you're just trying to take the piss out of us.
I'm here for it, to be honest with you. I
That's
love
all it
everything
was.
entertaining. Even the one we put in for Delit. Did you see the bid we put in for Delit?
I'd be 42 mil.
No, 25 plus 4
Oh
in
right, yeah,
add-ons for Delit,
yeah.
the first initial
I
one.
mean,
So
what you doing? It's like I think what it is probably
it's
is the
business.
yeah,
Typical
and
business.
because obviously the way these have been run for the past 10, 15 years under the Glazers, now obviously Ratcliffe's come in. So he's basically going, we're Man United, we're Manchester United, and I'm a ruthless businessman. I'm not going to get sucked the piss out of. And I think that's what he's trying to do now with it. But that is a ridiculous bid. Not just the Branthwaite one, but the Delete one. That's ridiculous. Come on.
Okay.
It's like he's trying to make a point, I think.
Okay. Well, there's plenty more to comment to get through. So, Sam's in the chat saying, is Branthwaite a generational talent? That was Yoro has been described as. Madrid were heavily in for him for that reason. Was anyone in for Branthwaite besides us? That's the difference.
Real Madrid have been linked with him for ages, and obviously the fact that for Branthwaite, and okay, right, they've got Carlo Ancelotti as manager, so that makes more sense. But Carlo loved him as a young lad and gave him a lot of games. Like this is what I was trying to say before, is that you're saying it's one season. It's one whole season, I'll give you that, where he played pretty much every game last week. He came in like the second or third game of the season and then played the whole season. But beforehand, where he's a young lad, Ancelotti played him quite a bit, like not loads, but quite a bit. Like for a young lad at that age, playing in what's known as the best league in the world. Real Madrid have been linked with him for ages. Every time I've seen it, it's always United, City, and Real Madrid. And then even I've seen Bayern Munich, I've seen Barcelona. Now, obviously, these could all just be like nonsense rumours, and fair enough. But to say that only Man United have been in for him, like fair enough, they're the only ones who put in a concrete bid. But clearly, a lot of clubs and a lot of elite clubs have been looking at him and liking.
Yeah.
So
I want to throw something to you because I mentioned Delit before, and that just kind of sparked like a light bulb in my head. If Bayern Munich won 42 million for Matthias Delit, who's I think he's 24. How old's Branthwaite? 21.
yeah,
Yeah. Delete,
You
the
might just
only
be interested.
centre back of recent, who I believe has won the Golden Boy for like the youngster coming up, effectively the only defender to do so. Won
Yeah.
titles at Ajax, Juventus, Bayern Munich,
Yeah.
and you're saying double that for Branthwaite.
No, but like, come on, like since he left Ajax, yeah, he's won titles at Juve and Bayern, but out like has he been integral to either of
With
those?
Bayern, he's been good. Juventus, it didn't work out because of Chiellini and Bonucci, and there was a
Even at
load of.
Bayern,
And also, they had 3 or 4 different managers at Juventus: Sarri,
yeah,
Pirlo, Allegri, and there was someone else, I think. So there was no, what was it, consistency or balance, whatever it is the word I'm looking for. There was no. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm like that. For me, if you say 75, nearly double for what Bayern want for Delete, that sounds a little bit crazy to me.
but I just think that that's a signifier or an indication of how far the stock has fallen in the past, ever since he left Ajax. Pretty much. If he so, however much they signed him for, I don't have the figures with me. So, do you know that?
I
Like
think it
when
was 60 million euros. I think.
it's like so, that's you know what I mean. That's it, and that's also what 5 years ago. Before we've had this sort of input and these newer ones.
Yeah, but a golden boy from Ajax who got to the captained him and got to the semi-finals of the Champions League and got him for 50 million.
True, but Ajax, like that's just what Ajax do, don't they? Like when they don't really, obviously it was good business like, at the time, but like I don't think Ajax have ever really, I think Anthony's probably their biggest sale.
No, we bought Lissandro for 60, Anthony for 80. So they get decent money, but it's
They do.
you
But
can.
my point being is that the lips, right? Yeah, 2019, the Golden Boy winner and all that, an amazing player. And I think he will do well at United personally. And there's obviously a good player still in there. But then like the Euros, it's just been on. Like, did he play? Did he play?
Who Delete? No,
Yeah.
but who's their manager? You know him very well. Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
fair
exactly.
enough. Fair enough. But since he's left Ajax, things haven't gone well. So I think that's why now
That would have an effect on his price for
his
sure.
stock has fallen for
Yeah.
like, come on.
But that takes to the point of the market, the way, because everyone's interpretation of the market is different, right? You mentioned Anthony, who was paid fucking 80 million quid, Mudryk, 80 million quid. They're probably both 20 to 30 million pound wingers, so it's whatever each club is willing to pay. You know, was Coutinho at the time, is he an 140 million pound player? No, he's not. So I get your side of it in terms of that he's important to us. We really need him. There would be a giant Branthwaite hole if we lost him. So, and also, what I wanted to ask is, would they reinvest the money? So, if you got that 70 million, would it go in someone's back pocket, or would you be? Do you think they'd go and get a centre back, another young prospect or whatever?
Yeah, I do. So I don't know if you've like looked at our business so far. We signed 4 players for 25 million in total. Decent, no one to like sort of go, wow, what an amazing signing. But I think decent business. 25 million for 4 players this day and age is good. That's the way I look at it. With that's from making, I think, 70 million in sales, obviously with Anana going and a couple of others. So to me, like, yeah, like I would imagine that 70 million, whatever it would be, like that would help towards the debts and whatever. But it's going to be invested. Like it's going to be invested, and then but now it's like, well, this is like our model of doing it now, or that a model that's been enforced on us probably by the last, since Farhad Mashiri came in, and we've spent mad money on players who weren't worth that the money that we paid. So now we need to be a bit more sensible, I suppose.
Talk to me about the financial situation, just so people can understand it, because I think what a lot of people have done, they've just kind of read a snippet from David Ornstein's article and they've just assumed that we could just get Branthwaite for cheap because that's happened.
Yeah,
It's not as simple as that, is it? So just elaborate on that situation if you can.
So obviously, like, I mean, you only have to look at Man United to say like a club in debt. Like, these were in like billions of pounds worth of
Still
debt.
are.
Like, well, exactly. That's my point. So you aren't like put on your ass though. Like, you can't spend any money. So for us, obviously, and the reason why we got the points deductions and all that, and we got all these sanctions and all these hearings and whatever, is because we've obviously gone over on the PSR. Now, with what we've done, I mean, last season, uh, the season before when we sold Richarlison, we had to sell him before a certain date. So we got around about 50 million for him, which, like, maybe now people will say based off how he's done at Tottenham, that maybe that wasn't right. But to us, like, we sold him, like, it was too cheap. Like, and it was because we were trying to rush him out to meet PSR regulations. So right now, PSR is looking pretty good. Like I say, like like Anana's just gone for 50 million, which is a good price, and I would say a
Didn't
fair
you
price.
pay 50 for him?
For Anana,
Yeah.
no, it was obviously add-ons and stuff. I imagine, like, in terms of performance related
Yeah.
and what have you. But no, it weren't. I don't think it's 50 million. I think
I thought you paid around 50 for him, like 40, 50 million
I think it's 30, like, it might have been 20 odd, 30, and then with some
with
add-ons.
add-ons. Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, as it stands, you can go into next season and you just don't have to sell any players.
Don't no, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I think the street now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why as soon as we sold Anana, it was like that's why I was so confident about keeping Branthwaite, and then all the talk as well coming out of the club and like from the journalists and stuff like that was that Branthwaite was not gonna was more than happy to stay. Like, he wasn't gonna make a thing. Now obviously it's come out today or yesterday that now he is asking for quite a big weight. He's asking for 160k,
Yeah.
which I don't know if we'll do that. I'm
Hey,
not sure.
but does he warrant it though? Because the way you're talking him up, he deserves that wage by the sound of it.
Right. So black and white is yes, he does. He's a player who's good enough to earn that kind of money, 160k. I believe so. Yeah, but then that would like make him the highest earner. And as a 22-year-old, I don't think that's right, especially when we've got like Jordan Pickford, who's been with us now for I think it's 7 years.
Yeah.
Into more than him wouldn't be right in my opinion. So that's why I say I don't think we will, and I don't think we should give him 160k. But are you asking, is he good enough to earn that money? Then absolutely, yeah. And that's the reason why it's 160k is because he's saying he wants the same amount as what United have put on the table for him. So apparently that was, all the personal terms we agreed and what have you, and 100, or even if it were agreed, but 160k was offered to him by United. So he's saying, if you want me that bad, then you're the same go.
Yeah, he's in a strong position in that sense.
Yeah.
But before I get into any comments or we get into our Premier League predictions, because we're going to do that to kind of finish off the show, I just want to give my final kind of take on this situation. I love Branthwaite as a player. I think he can develop into probably one of the better centre-backs in the league. When you talk about centre-backs at the moment, your Van der Vens, your Salibas, and even Van Dijk's obviously still in the conversation. I think he can get up to that. I think he has the potential. I don't think he's there right now because, like I said, he's had a season at Everton. He's looked good, competent, 1v1, aerial, on the ball. He's got everything you want in a centre back. If we paid, personally as a United fan, if I saw tomorrow a headline broke and it said we've paid 70 or 75 million for Branthwaite, I'd be like, I'd be disappointed, honestly. If, however, it came out tomorrow, whether people think he's worth it or not, this is just my personal opinion. If it came out tomorrow that we paid 55 plus 5, what we paid for Mason Mount, for example, I'd be like, okay, that's good. Pretty good deal. Probably fair. Again, just in my opinion, that's what I think. So if we used to pay 55 plus 5, call it 60, whatever it is, that is where I would be like, both teams are met in the middle. Not like Everton need to, like you suggested, but both teams are met in the middle, and that's a good deal. But as I've always said the past couple of shows that I've done, I don't think we get this deal. I don't think it gets done. Like permanently, I don't think we sign him. Like even next season, because I think as soon as other clubs become interested, if City start sniffing around or Real Madrid, like you alluded to before, I don't think United are going to have a sniff. So if they want to get this deal, that's why I think Everton are in a stronger position than people think, because if we want to get that deal done, I think we need to do it this summer.
Yeah, so do I, honestly. I had this chat the other day with, well, I don't listen to him, but you know him, but the United fan, right? And I basically said, well, we was chatting obviously about the bids and that, and I'm saying, you have took the piss, so fuck yous, because you're obviously not getting them, because you're offering ridiculous fees and ridiculous bids. So you're basically giving up on him. So that's fine by me. He can stay for another year or two with us, and then he goes to Madrid. that's honestly, that's how I see it. And then we get it. We sell him. Say we do sell him in 2 years' time, it'll be more than 70 mil. That's the way I look at it. Anyway.
Yeah. Right, then we go to the comments and then we'll do some Premier League predictions. We call it debate, but we still both believe in our exact same points what we did initially when we started. So it's not as if we've not met in the middle either. We've kind of both stood firm on our points. McMillan's saying De Ligt to United is dead in the water. Branthwaite is the left centre-back United one. De Ligt ain't starting over Euro, especially after turning his mind from going to Real Madrid. Rajat says no, because Euro's not ready to play every game and players don't want to play every game. Totally agree, Mako. Definitely not worth 70 million. Not as things stand, but I can understand the club pushing the boat out for young, versatile players with potential. Maguire isn't leaving this season. Maguire will be second choice right centre-back this season. We need a second choice left centre-back. But Maguire can play on the left as well, McMillan. So you could have Lissandro, Maguire, and then you, as the understudy, whatever you want to call it, and then you can have De Ligt and Euro as your right centre back, so it can work either way. Same with Branthwaite. Branthwaite is a left centre back. I know he plays there, but he's ambipedal, so he's both footed. He's really strong on his right foot, so he can also play right centre back if he needed to. I think he'd be pretty comfortable. I think he did that for PSV quite a lot. So yeah, I think he'd be comfortable either way. Phil Branthwaite is top 12, top 15 EPL sort of centre backs. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'd push him into the top 10 or the top 5, but I'll take that.
Okay. Okay. I thought you might have been, a bit of backlash to that. Camario Fox, Alex says, do you think Everton will even stay up?
Yeah, we will. Did you not see us last week? We obviously we finished 16th in the end, but with the points
You
that we
could have been 10th, right?
It should have been like joint 11th, and then if you look at some of the points where some of the games where we sort of threw away the points, then we would have easily finished top 10. I think probably not just a decent season for us, but what I do think will happen is we do finish maybe not quite in the top 10, but who knows, because we actually have, and it's like I said, the players that we're signing, decent business. It really is.
Quickly go for your signings for us. Who are the 4 signings that you made?
Right, so Jack Harrison's coming again on loan.
Okay, I like him. Yeah.
He's
honest, hardworking.
Yeah, he's not amazing by any means, but he's decent, and he did a decent job last season. We've signed the young lad from Villa, who obviously that was to do with the
PSR mingling.
Lewis Dobbin went to Villa, and we got the lad Singh Arood. It's going to be hard to pronounce. Arood now, I think it is.
Okay. I'm sure that's exactly how his family says
it. Yeah. And then Iliman Ndiaye, who we've signed from Marseille, who we've been after for the past couple of years. He's got at Sheffield United.
Is that an Onana replacement?
No, he's more of a forward. He's more of a. I wouldn't say he's an out-and-out striker, but I imagine he's going to play. He's going to be one of our forward options. Maybe someone who plays in like the 10, sort of behind The Villa lad, he's a centre mid. He's like a
Okay.
box to box type. And then we signed today actually on loan, but with I don't think it's an obligation, but there's an option to buy, and it's not for that much. It's like somewhere between like 15 and 20 million.
Yeah.
Jesper Lindstrom is called, and he's come from Napoli. He's a famous international. Who he was amazing at I think Frankfurt. He was at Frankfurt before Napoli and
Okay.
did really well. But he signed for Napoli last season. Now, obviously, Napoli they won the title the year before, and then they had a really poor title defense last season.
hmm
So things didn't go all that well for him. But he's a good player. Like obviously, highlight reels are you can make anyone look good.
You gotta
But
be careful with them.
I know. But you look at him and you go, he's clearly got a lot of talent. So
Yeah.
it's looking all right. It's looking all right, to be honest.
Okay. Well, you've come a long way from Sigurdsson. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
My Damn United, one of the Real Red Ultra members, says Everton will stay up by avoiding a points deduction next June 30th by selling Branthwaite for 35 million. There we go. A lot of people on the wind up. De Ligt's wages are ridiculous to come be second choice centre back. Ten Hag wants a left footed centre back. Maguire isn't left footed. Different mindset with the squad. He isn't left footed, but he's played. If you actually look at Maguire, he's played the majority of games in left centre back for us. That's just facts. So, Alyx, does DCL stay fit? Said Sam.
To be honest, like there's now chat about does he go? Like,
Well, we've been linked with him.
you've been linked with him, but yeah, a lot of people have been linked with him. But like
I'm like, fuck that.
Newcastle, West Ham's and stuff like that. Like, part of me now is just like, if you'd have asked me this a year ago, or especially like 2 years ago, I would have been gutted. But now it's just like he's now I think 27, and it's just like, can you rely on him?
It's time to go.
Yeah,
That's what I think it
be.
is. Yeah.
It might be.
Hopefully not to United. I don't want to sign him. I really, really don't. I'd rather go for an Ivan Toney if you're going to be paying fucking 40, 50 million.
Well, that's what I think with probably. I don't think he'd go for that much. So I think he would be the sort of cheaper alternative to Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
But it also, and maybe again this is biased, but obviously I'm going off watching Calvert-Lewin for the past 6-7 years. I do think he's a better player. But obviously he's got the injury issues and all that kind of thing. So.
I saw a stat about Calvert-Lewin. I was like, what the fuck? He played more minutes last season than Højlund. You know that?
Yeah. No, I know. This is what I mean. So
like, what?
Last season was he still had quite a few like little injuries where he missed the odd game and stuff like that. But this was probably the best it's been for him in terms of like fitness wise for the past like 2 seasons. But then it was just I don't know. It's like he'd lost a bit of confidence or something. I don't know. But then at the end of the season, he then got into a bit of a. He had like last season. He had 2 spells where he's little spells where he's like a proper purple patch where he's like DCL's back now. Come on, like we're gonna do well. And we went on like a 5-6 game and beat him, and he got about 4 goals in that time. And thinking, right, this is it now. But yeah, I don't know. I think he was affected a lot by the fact that he's injured a lot. But yeah, I think his confidence is hit massively.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for everyone in the chat, but I think whenever we've mentioned Calvert-Lewin or Toney, they just when we spoke about Calvert-Lewin as a potential option, or he's gone for that. Well, stay away from him. Just because injuries, we've had such a curse, especially last season with like 60+ fucking absences. I'm just like, and illnesses, like I can't stay the fuck away from that. I mean, Malassi's not even going on pre-season tour. And he's been out for like a year and a bit, so it's just been crazy with injuries. But who knows? We might have the revival of the season, and Calvert-Lewin might be top fucking scorer next year. You never know. Stranger things have happened, I suppose. Right now, whilst we're talking about the winner of Golden Boots and such, should we do our Premier League predictions? Because I'm eager to get into this. So, the categories are Alyx, winner, top 4, Golden Boot, best signing, flops, trophies won. Where do Everton and United finish? Okay? Right. So, winner. Who's going to win the Premier League next season? Why? Why are you laughing?
No, it's probably City, but like maybe this is just because I want them to, because I've always had a bit of a soft spot
I'm
for
the
them,
same.
support team. But like with Arsenal,
Oh right, no, that's not my sauce.
no, I was
No,
gonna say,
yeah, no. As soon as I
I was
said
gonna
that, then he
say,
was like, no,
surely not.
it's because you said soft spot. I was gonna say I think City, but I wanted to throw a curveball in there just because I don't want them to fucking win it again. That's like subconsciously something.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it'll probably
exactly.
be them again, won't it?
I
Just
know.
because
Yeah.
of cunts.
Boring,
Um,
isn't it?
it is
Boring.
very boring. It is very, very boring. Top four, and that should be a bit more interesting. What are we saying for top four?
Do I have to do it in order, or can I just give?
Well, we can just riff. We can go back and forth. So we've both said City are going to win it, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
So is Arsenal going to be second?
Arsenal would, yeah, yeah. I
You think
think,
so?
I think again it's them two going for it.
Nailed
But then,
on.
yeah, but then you have got Liverpool now. You know,
But will they go back under Rene? Not Rene.
either go like that or like that, don't they?
Mm.
Because crossroads is a bit like
Trent
what
linked
happened.
with Madrid. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
They lost to Preston in the first pre-season game. Joking. Go on then. Yeah. Is Liverpool third or second?
no, they're not second. They're not second. Obviously, you said we're riffing in it, so I'm throwing some names out there in it because like I can see Chelsea, but then you go, but actually, can I? Because to be honest, I think if they'd have actually kept Pot, then
Yeah, same.
I'd have felt a bit more confident
Mate,
about Chelsea.
I thought at the time when they got rid of him, I was like, what on earth are you doing? What are you doing?
Is like to replace him? Because at the time you go in, who's going to replace him? And then the guy that they brought in, like he's had pretty much. I know I think he managed Parma for about 6 months before he went to Man City. So obviously he's one of Pep's like disciples.
Anyone who Pep has fucking touched, basically. It could have been the fucking shopkeeper shook hands with him, so let's get him in as assistant manager. Do you know what I mean? Anyone who's worked with him or touched him or smelt him or fucking cut his hair, get him in, because he's the next best thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that's good. So Chelsea, to be honest, that could bite him in the arse. I think bringing him in.
United.
Because Leicester fans last season, right, with Maresco, who's obviously gone to Chelsea. Like most of them didn't even fucking like him. Like they're saying shit. Like, obviously they won the league in the end, but
Todd Bowley thinks he's good.
Well, no,
so that's all that matters. As long as Todd Bowley thinks he's good, you know, they're all sorted. Yeah. All right, let's talk about United then. Where do you think? No, we'll leave United because I want to save that until the end because we'll do where do Everton and United finish and we'll get both our opinions on that one. So top four, let's just go through it right now. So give me yours. Just don't think about it. Go through yours.
City, Arsenal, Liverpool. It's tricky, you know.
It is.
Because I don't think United gets top four. I'm honest with you. I think Villa have obviously had an amazing season.
Yeah, but Champions League football.
That's gotta So Newcastle, I think they've now.
Nah, Newcastle not even done any business.
At the moment in the sun, I think I think that's them done really now. To be honest with you.
Whilst you're thinking, I'm going to go to the comments because there's people put quite a few in there. So McMillan saying City, Villa, Arsenal, United, top four. Wow. Camario saying City, Arsenal, United, Villa, Liverpool, and then Chelsea. Sam saying City, Arsenal, Villa, and Spurs.
Spurs, I was going to throw Spurs in. I like Big Ange a lot. And
Big Ange?
Yeah, but then is it just the whole Spursy thing where it's like
I don't even know what business they've done. Honestly, I know we're going off on tangents here, right? I look at the transfer window now. I'm like, what? Apart from Villa and United, what clubs have done like mega business? Do you know what I mean? None. Who was City signed? Who was Liverpool signed?
Really?
Who was Arsenal? Arsenal got Calafiore. Is that it?
Yeah, they're not even confirmed it, have they either?
So. I don't know. A lot of them leaving it late in the window. Sorry, I've interrupted. So four. What's your top four?
I'll say Spurs then. Go on, I'll say
Spurs. So
back-
City,
go back-
Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs.
Yeah.
That's your top four. I'll
I-
go.
Might
Go
go Arsenal to win the league, but I think this might be their year.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Depending if they get a few more in, and they need to get a striker in. I think
Yeah.
they need to get a striker, a top striker.
Yeah.
If they went for like a Tony at the end of the window, I think they'd have good chances. I'll go City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United. I think.
Back in United. Fair play
Yeah,
to you.
I am, because I think people will say it's red tinted glasses or whatever. It's not. I think everything, the momentum and positivity that we've got behind us as well, the players that we signed and the players that we're looking at, I think we could easily bounce back into that top
Obviously,
four.
I ended the season well last week, obviously winning the cup, beating Man City of all teams. So, but maybe I'm being a bit harsh on United by not putting them in there. But I just think, I don't know. It's the way that it's just gone for United recently. These were bad last year.
Oh, mate, you don't have to tell us. Last season, I remember
we did have injuries in that, but
the Palace game. It was so bad. It was so bad. I remember being in that thinking, oh, we're fucked. We're absolutely fucked, mate. That was so bad. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Anyway, that was last season. On to new and better things. Golden Boot. Who won it last season? Was it Haaland?
It was Haaland again, and I was just about to say,
it's
like,
boring, isn't it?
Boring,
fucking boring.
Who else but Haaland? Like, really?
Let's just make a rule of thumb. We're not allowed to say Haaland.
He's not there.
Tendy's not there. Who gets it? I think Cole Palmer could have another fantastic fucking season.
Yeah, I would say Ollie Watkins had an unbelievable season. That's it.
Most
Villa
goal
can do that again, because the fact is Villa have got a really, really fucking good squad there.
Yeah,
and they've got a really good manager. So can they do it again? Who knows? But history will tell you in the past that they won't, because every team that's ever broke up that top four or whatever, that big six, any team that didn't, we tend to then not do it. Like,
but they've had a good window as well. They've recruited really
well.
They've
had a really good window, So this is what I mean. Like, they've got a really good squad. Can they do it? Like, obviously Watkins is going to be massive for him.
Okay, so Watkins, your secondary shout?
Yeah, but do you know what? Actually, is a bit of a thing. Yeah, if he stays fit,
Isaac, yes, very good shout. Yeah, I love him as a striker.
He might go to Arsenal, actually, mightn't he? He's one of the ones who.
If they get him certified, I think wow, they're going to be dangerous as fuck, man. That front line. Ødegaard, Isaac, Saka, and fucking Martinelli or whoever it is who's going to be playing on the left hand side. Okay, we'll go with that. Best signing so far, do you think? It's tough, innit? Because I don't think.
Yeah. And so honestly, like Anano, he might be a decent signing for one. Like,
but you said you weren't that asked about Onana, didn't you?
No, I know, but I think because it's hard to explain with Onana. Like, anytime you've asked me about him in the past, and this goes back even like 2 years ago, like on the stream and that, and I've said he's class. Like, he is, like he's the talent that he has is unbelievable. But I think he might be one of them who does believe his own hype without truly proving it. And maybe he just wasn't the right fit for us. Maybe that was it. So that's why I was saying I'm happy for him to go, and I'm happy to get 50 million for him. I'm a bit gutted that he's gone to Villa, because Villa, obviously they're a club on the up and it's fair play, but it's just a bit, I don't know, it's a bit depressing as an Everton fan to then look at Aston Villa, who historically are like, they're as big as us really. We've got like the same amount of
more European Cups.
History. Well, fucking hell, yeah, but we got banned from Europe because of Liverpool, so let's not fucking go there, mate. They were lucky that they got it in, I think they won it in 1981 or 1982.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Bank Cup, we won the title in 85, and that was literally the first year that, the 5-year ban come in. Our peak.
Let's really.
Sorry.
You can put a camera in front of Alyx and to say anything about Everton or the Premier League, and it was just like 2 hours. You could just fucking go off on a tangent. I can't even remember what we were fucking discussing. Best signing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna have me rose red tinted glasses on this. I'm gonna say Euro. I think it's unbelievable from what I've seen. Honestly,
I think Xerxes. I think Xerxes is going to be a very good signing as well. Actually,
yeah,
I do. I like Xerxes. To bring it back to us, like we had him on trial and he chose Bayern.
Oh, I remember you saying, I remember you saying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bastard. You bastard. The one that got away. The one that got away. Can't wait for him to score against you. When do we play you, by the way?
Oh,
do you know? Is it quite a mutual way?
I don't know, but it's usually like every year it's always like the same.
October-ish, I feel.
Yeah,
like October, November.
And then we'll play you in like April.
Yeah. Nail down one name, Alyx. Best signing. Are you gonna go Onana?
No, I'm not gonna go Onana. I'll go, do you know what? And I have been easily swayed by you, but I think actually, I don't know. I think Euro.
Let's go. Okay, that's made me happy. Now, flops. Who's going to be a flop of a signing, do you think? Branthwaite, if he goes? Max Kilman, Wolves to West Ham, me and Matson, Chelsea to Villa. I'm just looking at other signings that have been done.
Signings,
I think they are as well. I think Villa have been linked with João Felix. I think I've seen something like that. I think if that happened, that could be a potential.
Yeah, no, I agree. It'd be very much like Coutinho. That's a thing.
Anyone in the chat watching right now, smash a like on the video, by the way, as well. I forgot to mention that before. And also, just whilst I'm thinking, we're on 6,230 subs, and we're on the road to 10k. So someone just subscribed as I said that as well, so thank you. Hit that subscribe button if you love football content. Premier League football is almost back. United have just gone to America for pre-season tour as well, so we're covering absolutely everything at the minute. So yeah, to all you guys who are already subscribed, appreciate you. If you are new, then do hit that subscribe button. And we will eventually finish these predictions. Should we move on for flops? Because there's not been that many signings as we could think it. Right. Trophies won. FA Cup, Carabao, Europa, Champions League. Go. No thinking. We just have to get through this.
I'll go Arsenal for the cup, for the FA Cup.
FA Cup, okay.
Yeah. Carabao. Fucking hell, it's just a City. Like City or Liverpool.
City.
It's City. Yeah.
Europa?
Was it Europa? You are in Europa, aren't you?
United.
Yeah.
And first season, we won the Carabao Cup. Second season, we won the FA Cup. Third season, could be the Europa League, my friend.
What, fourth season? The Premier League? Is that what you're getting at?
Well, yeah. That's not just yet. We'll get onto that once we win the Europa League first, and then we can talk about the Champions League and the Premier League. So I'll say Europa League United, and I agree with the other ones.
No, I will. I'll go for United as well.
Okay. And Champions League. Someone just said Smith Rowe flops at Fulham. Forgot about that.
You know what? I was thinking, but I thought obviously he's not signed for him yet. But I thought that could be an interesting one. That's Smith Rowe, because I like him a lot actually, and I think I'm a bit gutted for him. That Arsenal.
He weren't going to get time though, was he?
It's just a shame because Arsenal seemed to like him. He played him quite a bit, and then he had that big injury.
Captain pre-season, I think. Captain armband and all
that. Well, they gave him the number 10, didn't they? So that's to me, he's like saying, right, you're going to be our guy for the next 10 years, right? It's not panned out for him. But Champions League winner.
Madrid, just fucking Madrid.
Yeah. But do you know what? Actually, I was going to say Bayern.
Yeah, they've done really good business so far.
Yeah, and obviously Harry Kane has been unbelievable there.
Harry Kane, I mean, they brought in Alyx, they brought in Paulinho from Fulham.
Yeah, great signing. But then you go in, convincing company do that.
That's the one.
I do. I actually do. And I think
but winning the Champions League in your first season, it's
probably not. But yeah, I mean, you look at it and you go, the two best teams are obviously Madrid and City.
Yeah.
So it's probably the two in them, isn't it? It's boring, but yeah.
It is, but these are honest predictions.
Yeah.
Finally, where do Everton and United finish? Do you want to go on that? And then I'll give my predictions. So for you personally, where do you think United finish and where do you think Everton finish?
I think you'd get top six. I think you get European football. You might nick four. You might nick four. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say you've done decent business. You had a decent end to last season. You have got a decent manager. You'd be wrong to say that.
Do you think he's a good genuinely? Do you think he's a good manager?
Oh, yeah, of course he did. Right, yeah, he did. He did amazingly at Ajax. And the only thing that makes you wonder about it is then going right. It's 2 years now at United, and they just the actual football on show, like it's been pretty piss poor. Like the only even when you've won games, you've sort of won badly, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean?
If I was to take a look at your team, for example, Everton, right? Who are your, let's say, 3-4 most important players? Like Pickford, Tarkowski, you know, like your spine, basically. If you was to take them out for the majority of the season, you'd have a pretty horrendous season, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. But even like your first season with him, and you think fourth, didn't you? Fourth?
Third, and a Carabao.
Fair point.
Yeah.
But even during that season, I did actually, I watched quite a lot, you know, because you're always on telly, aren't you? So
yeah,
I watched quite a lot.
we take the fucking.
You're on fucking every game, man. Yeah. And then midweek and then weekend. But yeah, I thought, even watching you then, like when you had a good season, like I'm watching you going, what's the
style?
Tactics, what's the style? Yeah, what is it? And I'm not seeing it on spot. But I do think he's good, and obviously Ten Hag, and I think he has been hamstrung completely. And he has had his you know, he's been handcuffed a little bit. He's out behind his back, you know what I mean? So,
well, you can sympathise a lot in terms of the structure that he's got above him.
Yeah,
because Everton, the shit show they've got going on upstairs as well. It's like, you know, the bigger things in football, especially when you got a fucking whining Cristiano Ronaldo, a 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, who's honestly, yeah. I mean, I can't, because I'll end up going on for another hour on it. I could just. The past 2 years have been a whirlwind, and any United fan in the chat right now can fucking testify to that. So yeah, where do United finish? Just top 6, you say, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go fifth then. I'll go fifth.
Okay, that's fair. Where do Everton finish?
I think we'll get 10th, and we might even push for a top half finish. Obviously, 10th is.
I like that.
Technically top half. I think if we finish 8th, then that's what people would say is an amazing.
That's a good season. Very good season.
Considering where we've been the last few years. But it wouldn't actually massively surprise me. And I think to be honest, right, that Everton and Sean Dyche in particular were gonna surprise the sort of the general footballing public, and people were gonna go, bloody hell, these are actually they can play a bit. And Sean Dyche is a top manager.
Well, likewise with you, like you said about United, I watched Everton quite a bit, and I thought the football they played, it could just never. It was always that final bit of scoring. Every time I watched Everton, they played nice football, get it out wide, you know, crosses into the box. It was actually pretty exciting at times, and they defended really organised and defended really well. It was that final bit, and I remember watching the games against Chelsea. We got dicked like 5-0 or something. I think that was the one game where I was like, ooh. I'm not sure what's going on here. But for the majority of the time, I watched, I thought they played pretty fucking solid, like proper, well drilled. You could tell Sean Dyche is like,
exactly. And it was exciting. It was. We were getting the ball up. We had we had Jack Harrison on one side, Dwight McNeil on the other. It was just basically up and down wingers getting the ball in or playing it onto the. It was good. I went quite a bit last season to Goodison, and every game that I watched was just. It was exciting. I played Villa and drew 0-0. One of the games, but even that was an half decent game. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it was for us. We were just missing that that clinical striker. That's all it was. If Beto or Calvert-Lewin would have put away some of the chances,
Oh,
then
Beto's. Okay, now he's
I
missed
like
so many
I like
chances.
Beto as well. I actually do. And
He's
we've got a
raw though,
young
isn't
lad.
it?
He's raw, yeah, but he's got a lot of good qualities. A lot of
Yeah,
good qualities.
yeah.
But we've got a young lad, Shanuti, as well. And he scored twice the other day in pre-season, and we didn't really get much of a sniff last year. But when he did, we go in. He's got potential.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to how he does next year.
Right, I'm going. Oh man, I've said United in top 4 before anyway, so I'll go 4th for United. I think we have a relatively positive season and we win the Europa League as well. And then Everton, I think it's so hard nowadays to crack into the top half of the table.
Yeah.
I just look at the teams that are there and it is really, really hard. But I then look at other teams around that area in like 10th and 11th, like your Crystal Palaces who've just lost like the best player, probably lose a couple others as well. I think the 10th is probably about right. I'd say 10th or 11th for Everton, just for me personally.
Yeah.
But it's hard, it's
And
so
that would
hard
be
to
a good
predict, isn't
season.
it?
No, yeah, definitely. And that would be a good season for us. It's progressing.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad to be saying that as an Everton fan to be saying finishing 10th is a good season, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit depressing, but that's where we are at the minute.
Mate,
So
the 2 times when you were going to get relegated, when you was fighting it, or 3, whatever it's been, I've always said, I hope they don't go down. I hope they don't go down. Because I actually like a secondary club. I actually really like. I said that to you. I've said that to Sam when he's asked me before as well. Because of the similarities as well with United, there are similar things there which a lot of people may not see. But I'm just excited, man. I can't wait for fucking Premier League football to return. I don't hate preseason, but it's just no way near the same. It's just no way. It's just not similar. Yeah. I'm excited, and we kick it off. We play Fulham on the 16th, so we start the Premier League off on a Friday night, which I can't fucking wait. Can't wait. So, yeah. Right. Anyway, we can leave it at that. Thank you very much to everyone who's tuned in on the hour mark. Bang on, perfect as always. That's what you get when you have a fantastic host like myself. Appreciate Alyx for sharing his time with me on a Friday night. Appreciate all you guys, equal effort, spending your time with us as well. I think it's been a very in-depth show, debate about Branthwaite, Premier League predictions. What more could you want on a Friday night, eh? Yeah, thank you to Alyx. Thank you to you guys. Smash a like on the video, drop us a follow on socials, and we will see you guys very shortly. I'll be live tomorrow at 12 o'clock, so come and join me. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, Alyx.